Applying to vet school is one of the most exciting and nerve-wracking times of your life. Whether you are a high schooler just starting out or a university senior getting ready to apply, this simple guide will help you understand every part of the process. First, let's discuss if vet school is right for you. Becoming a veterinarian requires an average of 8 years after high school, including 4 years of undergrad and 4 years of vet school. While a bachelor degree is not required, it is recommended. Besides, you will have so many credit hours with the prerequisites that it makes sense to just complete your degree. Of the 4 years of vet school, 3 years are devoted to time in the classroom and labs, and the final year is devoted to clinical work, actually working with clients' animals. I hope you like school because vet school has a very long list of prerequisites, which we'll cover next. Vet school is also very expensive, with out-of-state schools being much more expensive than in-state schools. Each school has specific requirements, but here is a general list of some of the prerequisites for vet school. Generally, you must make a C- or better in these courses, but schools may accept pass-fail during COVID. A quick note about major and GPA. Your choice of major does not factor into vet school acceptance. Someone with a BA in English stands just as much of a chance of being accepted as someone who majored in biology or animal science. That being said, it's best to choose a major whose prerequisites align with those for vet school. It is very important to do well in your prerequisites and maintain a competitive GPA. However, don't panic if you don't do well in a class. A 4.0 GPA is impressive, but not required. If you can retake the class and do well, it shows that you can rebound and be successful. This is why an upward trend in grades in your last few semesters is beneficial to acceptance. And, of course, check with each school about their GPA requirements before you apply. When you're ready to apply to vet school, your first stop is to the VMCAS. This is the service you will use to apply to all AVMA accredited colleges in the United States and abroad. The application window opens mid-January and closes September 15th. The fee for your first application is $220, and the fee for subsequent applications is $115. All application materials will be submitted through VMCAS, including transcripts, all of your experience, letters of recommendation, and your personal essays. Speaking of letters of recommendation, at least 3 are required, with some schools requiring as many as 6. It is recommended that at least 2 of the letters come from veterinarians or PhD scientists with whom you have worked or volunteered. Once you have confirmed their willingness to write a letter of recommendation, you will enter their email address into VMCAS. They will then receive an email from VMCAS about how to submit their letter and what should be included. A letter of recommendation should detail the applicant's maturity, commitment, and work ethic with specific examples. It's also a good idea to ask one extra person to write a letter of recommendation. For example, if you need 3 letters, ask 4 different people. This way, if someone doesn't write their letter before the deadline, you still have your 3 required letters. Your personal statements are where you explain why you want to pursue a career in animal medicine. Explain how you would contribute to the profession and why the admission staff should choose you. It's important to display your professionalism and maturity, including your understanding of veterinary medicine. You can also mention personal struggles you have overcome and how they make you a better candidate. It's also important to know the difference between animal rights and animal welfare, as this is a common essay and interview question. Most vet schools will have a supplemental application outside of VMCAS that will have extra essay questions. There is also a separate application fee, so you can see why it can be really expensive to apply to multiple schools. It's a good idea to only apply to the schools that you actually plan to attend. Also, keep an eye on those application deadlines. When you enter in your experiences, understand that they're not all under the same category. Veterinary experience includes experience that was under the direct supervision of a veterinarian or PhD. Be sure to check with each school's requirements, since they will each have a different number of required hours. Types of veterinary experience include working as a vet assistant or technician, shadowing a veterinarian, and being involved in research. While all experience is good, it's best to match your experience with your future career goals. For example, if you want to become an equine vet, equestrian experience makes sense. Animal experience includes all other forms of animal-related work. This can include working at a kennel or zoo, pet sitting, volunteering with a rescue, or being involved in equestrian or livestock activities. However, do not count your years of pet ownership. A lot of people ask whether or not they should include their non-animal related work experience, and my answer is absolutely. Including all of your work experience allows you to show off your customer service skills and demonstrates your maturity. It also helps make you a well-rounded candidate. In general, the more varied your experience is, the better. Instead of spending all of your time at the animal shelter, try branching out into other areas like zoological or wildlife work. It's also a good idea to get involved in extracurricular activities, like joining your university's animal-related clubs. Holding leadership positions in these clubs will really give your application a boost. Once all of your information has been entered into VMCAS, it's time to decide which school you want to apply to. You should always apply to your in-state schools since they will generate the least amount of debt. You can also choose schools that have a focus in your future field. While every vet school will give you a complete and adequate education in veterinary medicine, certain schools may specialize in one particular area, allowing you to get extra hands-on experience in that field. Once you've narrowed down your list of schools to a handful, plan a visit to the school's campus so you can get a good feel of the area. A few final things to remember. Always double-check and triple-check a school's requirements, and if you don't qualify, don't apply. Schools will not consider you if you do not meet the minimum requirements. Also, make sure you have a realistic view of veterinary medicine. While vets do get to play with puppies and kittens, there are also really hard days of long hours and confrontational clients. A great way to prepare yourself for this is to work directly in a vet clinic and experience what happens daily. A lot of schools have been doing away with the GRE, so be sure to check with your school's requirements before wasting all that time and money. And if a school doesn't ask for your GRE scores, don't send them. Part of having a realistic view of veterinary medicine is understanding the debt that comes with it. Most vet students graduate with hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, so just make sure you're prepared for that. Lastly, sell yourself and don't give up. A lot of people don't get in on their first try. Keep working and strengthening your application and you'll eventually make it. Good luck!